I think it will thrill you. It may shock you. It might even horrify you. So if any of you feel that you do not care to subject your nerves to such a strain, now is your chance to, well, we've warned you.
Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So I'll be very quick here so this video doesn't go on forever, but I've had a lot of you message me over the last month or so asking me my opinion on certain horror movies on Netflix. I guess everybody's gearing up for horror movies here, you know, with October coming, or I guess we're in October now, with Halloween and all that sort of stuff. So what I thought I'd do is, this is probably going to be a two-parter. I'm going to start at the top on my Netflix in the horror movie section, and I'm going to start at the top and I'm going to work my way down until I get to 31 horror movies that I think you guys should watch. And along the way, we'll hit some shitty movies that I'll probably tell you to pass on. But once we hit the magic number of 31, then we'll stop the video. And then maybe for the second part, what I'll do is I'll start at the bottom of the list on Netflix horror movies and work my way up, because there's a lot of them on here. So, and there's a lot of good ones too. Mind you, there's a lot of shitty ones, but we'll go through this list now. So I'll start at the top here and work my way down. So the first is the Winchester. Yeah, definitely watch this movie. Actually, if you're looking to watch a horror movie with your kids, this one is pretty cool. I don't think there's any gore in it, I don't think. But it's got some good scares in it. Mind you, they're jump scares, but I like the Winchester house, the kind of, you know, because it's based on a true story sort of thing, and the house actually does exist. So, you know, I didn't mind this movie when I saw it at the theater. It got ripped pretty good by the critics, but I mean, if, you know, whatever, it's not too bad, and it's free, it's on Netflix. Terrifier, okay, this is a movie you don't want to watch with your kids, because it's gory as fuck, but my God, if you're a horror fan, you need to see this movie if you haven't watched it already. Art the Clown is like huge, and he's in a couple movies, All Hallows Eve, Terrifier, and he's in a short film somewhere too. I can't remember what the title is. I had somebody ask me about it last night, but yeah, watch Terrifier. I mean, it's that fucking good. The Third Eye, I haven't seen that yet, so I can't comment on it. This movie here, Annihilation, definitely see this. I don't know if I'd classify it as a horror movie. It's more of a sci-fi, but whatever. Watch it. It was one of the best movies I saw last year. It was just incredible, and the creatures in it are fantastic. Like, just the soundtrack and the creatures, and I mean look at that fucking thing. Like, anyways, just Annihilation, watch it, it's fucking good. Conjuring 2, well, I really don't need to say watch any of the Conjuring movies because they're all fucking fantastic. So I mean, yeah, well, there's the Nun there that is killing it at the box office, even though it's not very good. But Conjuring 2, I mean, if you want to get freaked out and run up the stairs after you get done watching a horror movie, this is the one that'll do it to you. This thing is fucking fantastic. What else we got here? Drag Me to Hell. I just watched this movie just yesterday, actually, and I forgot how fucking good it was. This is Sam Raimi at his finest. It's almost like a throwback to Evil Dead with the effects and the gore, and this old witch woman, man, like, it's an amazing movie. You really should watch it, so it's highly recommended. It's got a 96% on Netflix as well. So, but yeah, it's a good fucking movie. So, what are we at here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at 5. Okay, I'm one behind. All right, so down to the next list. Okay, Witch. Don't watch this fucking movie. It's absolutely terrible. I saw it at the theater, and I actually left pissed off. In fact, I was as mad at this movie or disappointed in this movie as I was with M. Night Shyamalan's The Village. It's just, there was so much hype coming out about this movie after it did the film festivals, and then I went and saw it, and it was boring as fuck, and it was just dragged on forever. I mean, watch it if you want, but I'm warning you now, it's a terrible fucking movie. Don't Breathe. Now, here's the exact opposite. Don't Breathe is fucking a great movie. I can't tell you how fucking good this movie is. The whole time before I went to see this in the theater, I was thinking to myself, how are they going to make a break and enter movie into like a good watchable horror movie for like 90 minutes? Well, let me tell you, they fucking pulled it off. And the ending, I mean, you definitely have to watch the ending because it's fucking killer. So Piranha 3D, okay, so, or Double D, 3 Double D. If you want gore and a silly kind of a fun storyline, then this is the movie for you. I would say watch this. Again, well, David Hasselhoff is in it, but it's just, it's silly, but the kills in it are fantastic, and if you love gore, this is the movie because they don't hold back anything. The Ritual, when I saw this, I didn't know what I'd think about this. I heard really good things about it, and I wasn't disappointed. I mean, it wasn't one of the best movies I've ever seen, but it certainly wasn't the worst. It did drag on a little bit and get kind of redundant into the third act, but the last act, like the ending, is really cool, and the creature in this is fucking, I mean, like nothing you've ever seen before. So I would recommend it. I would say watch The Ritual. It's worth a watch. Lake Placid. Well, it's a classic. I mean, the ones after the first one, I mean, are really stupid and kind of sci-fi channelish, you know, bad. But this one I thought was really good. It's one of these movies where if you watch it on TV or if you see it on TV, like you'll get drawn in. And I mean, you'll just watch it all the way through. At least that's how it is for me. So I thought it was good. I really enjoyed this movie. Lights Out. Now, Lights Out is a movie that I have preached to people before about how important it is if you want to make a short horror film, just to make it. It doesn't matter if you have a huge production value. I mean, this original one, the original short film, which has like 30 billion fucking views on YouTube, was shot in a person's house. I think it took them 2 days, like a weekend they shot it. And the fucking thing is like a classic. And I mean, all it takes is for the right person to see your short film and get picked up, such as the case of this. James Wan directed and produced Lights Out, and it's scary as fuck. And it's all off a short film that somebody did on a weekend. So definitely watch that movie because it's fucking awesome. Okay, I can't say enough good things about Train to Busan. Let me just flick it down here. I love this movie. And it's funny too because it revolves around running zombies, and I fucking hate running zombies, but it just works in this movie. And this is, I'm going to say this is in my top 5 of all time favorite horror movies, or sorry, zombie movies. It's that good. And like I just said on my horror movie news yesterday, was the U.S. has bought the rights. James Wan is going to be producing it. They're going to be remaking it. Normally I don't like remakes, but that's a good thing because James Wan's involved. And also the original director, he's also putting a sequel out to this movie, which I want to see. So that is going to be awesome. And I think it comes out next year, 2019. Jeepers Creepers 3. Okay, yeah, do not watch this fucking movie. It is fucking terrible. If you're going to watch, you know, if you want a creature feature or something, then, I don't know, watch something else. Because don't watch this movie. It is fucking horrible. There was so much hype around this movie because it took so long for it to come out. And my God, like, I fell asleep. I was expecting to find out, you know, the mythology of the creature and maybe some, you know, the history, and nothing. It's just another Jeepers Creepers movie, and it's not even a fucking good movie. And the CGI in it is fucking terrible. Yeah, whoever made this, or I can't remember what the guy's name is, he should be ashamed of himself for making a pile of shit like this. Zombieland. I don't need to say anything about Zombieland. We all know it's a fucking great movie. You can't go wrong with the cast, and everybody signed on to make the sequel. Just announced it like a week and a half ago. So I don't know if it'll be out next year. I'm not sure, but very, very soon. They're working on it now. There will be a Zombieland 2, and not soon enough. Rings. Okay, I don't know. I'm going to say, I don't know, 50-50. Let's go. Let's say watch it. It's a good Saturday afternoon rainy movie. It's really, Rings is really the worst of all the Ring movies. I mean, we're getting to the point here where they're just trying to cash in and make money off of the name. But it does have, you know, some good scares. And yeah, if you have nothing better to do on a Saturday afternoon, I would give it a watch. And again, it's not an overly gory movie. I don't think there's any gore in it at all. So you could probably watch it with your kids if you want, if they want a good scare. You know, I don't know if you do that to them or not, but Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, this movie, I mean, again, I'm going to say no. This movie was gory and popcorny, but I mean, there's a lot better movies on here than this one. So it's got Jessica Biel in it, you know what I mean? So if you want something gory and stuff, give it a watch, but I didn't really care for this movie at all. And Death Note, I have not seen this yet, so I can't really comment on that one. Day of the Dead. This is a Bloodline. This is yet another remake of the Romero classic, and I had high hopes for this movie because they were saying, "Oh, we're gonna honor Romero and his story." And no, this movie is fucking terrible. I can't remember the Max. Max is the bub zombie. Like look at him. Like you can see it in the picture there. It's fucking terrible. He runs. it's just, you know, I don't want to go on and on about this, but it's a fucking terrible movie, and I would say if you had to choose between watching that movie and staring at the floor, I'd probably stare at the floor because it's that fucking bad. And another movie that's horrible is The Bye-Bye Man. I don't even know why this movie was fucking made. The special effects in it, I could do it better myself using Sony Vegas 13. I mean, this fucking movie was terrible. And I had to sit through it and watch it because took my kids to go see it at the theater, and even they thought it was fucking horrible. So yeah, Day of the Dead, Bloodline, and Bye Bye Man, skip those ones because they're fucking horrible. The Cave, on the other hand, is not too bad. I would say it is definitely watchable. It's not the best movie on here as far as horror movies go, but if you like a Descent-style horror movie, then this is one that is definitely watchable. The creatures in this movie aren't bad either, so yeah, I would say give this one a watch. You won't be disappointed. Babysitter. I can't recommend this movie enough. Carlo and I watched this movie, and we really didn't know what to think about it. And I thought it was going to be kind of silly, but holy fuck, man, this movie is fucking awesome. And I actually, out of all the reviews I've read for this movie, I have not seen one bad review for this flick. So if you want like a good movie that you're going to be impressed with, watch this movie, The Babysitter. It is fucking killer. In fact, if you're watching this about Netflix, you've probably already seen it, so you know how fucking good it is. Lodgers, I haven't seen this yet, although the trailer looked fucking stupid, so I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen the movie, but just judging by the trailer, it looks fucking retarded. Open House. This is one of the first horror movies that we watched when I got Netflix, and I'll tell you something, this movie is fucking stupid. Do not watch this movie. It is fucking terrible. It's almost like they ran out of ideas on how to end it, and it just ended. It is fucking silly and stupid. There's people that are in this movie that have conversations and go into this house, and you never see them leave. And it's not because they're going into a different world or something. It's like they almost fucking forgot that they were in the script, and it's fucking retarded. Like, if you want a joke, want to watch like a good, shitty, bad, horrible on how not to make a fucking movie, watch this one because it's terrible. Mom and Dad. Okay, so this is Nicolas Cage at his finest. Mandy was an incredible movie, and if you haven't seen that, find it and watch it. But if you want to see a good Nicolas Cage freakout movie, then you need to watch Mom and Dad because it is fucking incredible. I was so impressed, and I'm not a huge fan of Nicolas Cage, but watch this movie because it is definitely fucking good. Bleed, I haven't seen it. Corbin Nash looks fucking retarded. I haven't seen it, but the trailer looks fucking stupid. Would You Rather? I haven't seen this one either, but I didn't hear very good things about it. The Resort, I watched this one. This is like a sci-fi style zombie flick. It's got like, it's not very good. Just pass on it. It's got, you know, like the, what do you call it? Like the blood splatter and stuff, but it's all like the stuff you buy, the blood packs, you know, you buy them off the internet if you want to make your own video. Like, it's fucking terrible. Don't watch it. Insidious 3, well, again, the same as the Conjuring movies. I really don't even need to tell you to watch this one. Just do yourself a favor and fucking watch it because it's incredible. I mean, this Insidious Chapter 3 is, well, no, you know what? This is pretty scary too because it's got the smoking man in it too. So, I don't know. I fucking love that movie. I love all the Insidious movies. They're fucking great. I wish they'd make more. Babadook. This thing, I mean, it's funny because as many people who like this movie, there's as many people that don't like it. I don't know why you wouldn't like this movie unless you don't fucking understand it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a movie you kind of have to think through a little bit because they don't dumb it down and explain it all to you. So, especially the ending. You might be scratching your head going, what the fuck's going on in the basement there? But I don't want to give anything away. But watch this movie, man. It is fucking incredible. I loved it, and it's something I'll continue to watch for years to come. It's that good. Devil's Gate. I would say, oh, fuck, I don't know. I would say watch it. Don't hold it against me if you don't like it. I mean, it's okay. It's got a good idea, but it does get kind of silly near the end. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We watched it on a Saturday afternoon, and when it was over, we were like, meh, whatever. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd give it a watch. It's got some good scenes in it and stuff. Another movie that I really enjoyed that I wasn't even expecting was 47 Meters Down. This movie is incredible. I love shark movies, just simply because there's not a lot of good ones out there, especially with all the Sharknado bullshit that's coming out or has come out. But this one is fucking amazing. And I think they're making a sequel to this movie. I think I read that on Bloody Disgusting or Horror Society. I'm not sure. But yeah, you want to watch this movie. 47 Meters Down is fantastic. The Visit, man, I'll tell you, this is M. Night Shyamalan getting his shit together. He made some pretty fucking shitty movies leading up to this one. But man, oh man, like this movie is fucking intense. So this is M. Night Shyamalan getting back to his roots with like next to no CGI and just a good fucking story and a surprise ending. And yeah, I fucking loved it. So I couldn't recommend this movie enough. So what are we at here? I think we're at 20. So we got another 11. Okay, Hush. This movie is fantastic. Very quickly, the woman in it is a deaf mute. She's not mute, but she's deaf and blind. And I was thinking to myself, how the fuck are they going to pull this off with making it interesting on how she survives? But she does, and she fucking pulls it off, man. Is she blind? Is she deaf in this movie? I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I do know that I fucking loved it, and I am highly recommending this movie because it is fucking awesome. Okay, Boo 2. I'm not going to recommend it because I am going to recommend it, but not because I've seen it, because I haven't. But my daughter, every time I'm upstairs in my office and I hear her laughing, like hilariously out loud, or she has friends over and they're like laughing, I always go downstairs and this movie is always on the fucking TV. So I have not seen it, but if a movie can make my daughter watch it that much and laugh that much, and it's a horror movie, then I'm going to recommend it. So I would say check it out because my daughter's, it's one of her favorite movies. So just take it on that. The Lazarus Effect. Okay, I'm going to say watch this movie. There's a lot better movies on here than this one, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good. The ending was a little bit silly, but it'll definitely catch your attention, and it's got a good story behind it. So I would say watch that. Gerald's Game, I haven't seen it. A lot of people have, and they liked it. But I can't really recommend it either way because I don't really know much about the movie. I haven't watched it yet. It is on my to-watch list, but I haven't watched it yet. Oculus, I would say skip it because I didn't like it. I thought it was fucking terrible. It wasn't scary. It was almost like a movie that was made for TV, like a TV-style movie. Does that make sense? So I would say don't watch it because there's a lot of better movies on here than that. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Watch this movie and watch it many fucking times. If there was ever a movie that was close to perfect, it's this movie. This thing is fucking fantastic. And if it doesn't freak you the fuck out, then you might want to check yourself for a pulse because this movie was fucking crazy. So I loved it. I better mark that off there. Okay, so what are we doing here? Sinister 2. Okay, I really did like the first one. It was awesome. Didn't really care for this one. It's not a bad movie, but they were relying pretty heavy on jump scares, and the creep factor just wasn't there anymore. So I'm going to say don't watch it unless you have nothing else to watch. Or if you've seen the first one and you just, you want to see a sequel, then watch it. But I can't recommend this movie because I didn't really care for it. The Crazies, I thought this movie was fucking great. I'm a huge fan of the original one by George Romero, and this movie lived up to the hype for me. Mind you, it wasn't the greatest movie, but there's lots of good gore in there, and the storyline, and the way it ended off, I'm surprised they didn't make a sequel or haven't yet, but I'm really kind of hoping that they do because, I mean, this movie I thought was really fucking good. Phobia 2, I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard good things. The Cult of Chucky is absolutely fucking terrible. And actually, I think they're yanking this movie off in another week or two. So, I mean, do yourself a favor and just don't watch it. It's fucking terrible. Before I Wake, it's okay. I wouldn't really recommend it again. There's a lot more other good movies on here. Yeah, I just didn't think it was that good. Silent Hill, this movie is okay, so I'm going to recommend this movie just from the first half because it's kind of a classic, but I have never in my life seen a movie start off so fucking amazing and then the last act just totally shit the bed. So, but the first two acts really, really kept me, and it'll freak the fuck out. But when they turn, if you haven't seen this movie, it's old, but if you haven't seen it, Give it a watch, and you'll see what I mean about like the last act of this movie. It's just like, you'll be like, what the fuck? But again, you know, it's a video game movie, and they're trying to stay true to the video game. So I would say definitely watch it. What else? We Scream. Okay, well, this is the original. Oh no, this is Scream 4. Okay, I haven't seen this. So I watched the first one, thought it was really awesome. The second one kind of shit the bed, and I haven't watched any since then. So I can't really recommend this. But it's a Scream movie, so I don't know. Friday the 13th, well, I mean, all of the Friday the 13th movies are silly, really, after the second one. So, I mean, if you just want some silly, crazy Jason movies, then, I mean, watch it. It'll be okay. Which one's this? Part 6. Yeah, Part 6, Jason Lives. So I don't even remember this movie. So, but whatever. The Windmill. I will recommend this movie because this movie was fucking great. We started watching this movie, and I thought it was going to be terrible. But it's actually really fucking good, and it's got some great gore in it. So, yeah, I would highly recommend The Windmill. I enjoyed it very much. Stephanie is fucking terrible. I've actually gotten into, well, I do my best not to, but online arguments with people about this movie who are fucking defending it. And I'm like, what are you people watching? This movie is so fucking stupid. I did not care for it all. In fact, I didn't like it so much. I actually fell asleep fell asleep a little bit while I was watching it. It was so bad. So, yeah, I can't recommend that movie. Backcountry, though, I'll fucking recommend that one all day. This thing is fucking crazy. It takes a little while for it to get going, but I can honestly tell you, the ending of this movie, like the last act, is fucking insane, and you will be on the edge of your seat the whole fucking time. And the bear attack in this movie rivals the one in, oh, I can't think of the fucking name, but that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. My God, this fucking bear attack is crazy. Watch this movie. If you have not seen this movie, watch it. It is fucking incredible. Friday the 13th, Part 4, like I said, they're all silly after the second one, but it's good. It's a good silly. You know what I mean? So, you know what? I'm going to say watch it because, I mean, it's good, campy horror fun, and it's a classic genre, or a classic horror series, Friday the 13th. So give it a watch. Don't Hang Up. I haven't seen it. I haven't even heard of that fucking movie. Little Evil. I haven't even heard of that one, so I don't know. The Vatican Tapes. I will say watch this one. I thought it was pretty good. You know, it was a little cheesy, but it wasn't overly bad. But you know, if you want to get freaked out a little bit, give it a watch. And this one here, I would say Veronica, absolutely watch this movie. It is fucking amazing, and it will scare the pants off you. And I hate when they do this, but it's loosely based on a true story, so it's pretty cool. And I'll tell you something, I'm not giving anything away, but there's police officers in this movie, and what they walk in on, what they saw, I mean, I would lose my shit if I saw that. So it's crazy. So I would highly recommend this movie. What else? Okay, so I guess this would be the last one, because this is what, 5, 10, 15, 20. So this is the last one. So this is number 31, is Mama. Now again, I can't say enough. If you want to make a short film, make it, because this is another movie that got picked up from a fucking short film that was made and posted on YouTube. They literally made the original Mama, like the short film, in a weekend, and in this old, rotted out, falling down house, and they were going to tear the house down later that week. Well, actually they did. So the crew came in, filmed the short film Mama in this house, and I think it was Guillermo del Toro, I hope I said his name right, saw this film and picked it up, and I can't remember, I think it's Andrew Machete, I think that's who it was, who did it. I can't tell, but I'm pretty sure he's the director of this movie, and he also did it. But what I'm getting at is he was the one that did the short film. So how awesome is that, to make a short film, put it on the internet, have some bigwig movie director find it, produce it, let you direct it, and now you're a famous fucking director. Like, is that not a dream come true? So anyways, we're going to stop there. I mean, there's a lot more I can go down, so I'm going to end it there. So there's 31 movies to kind of get you started in October, right? Because it's one a day. And then what I'll do is in part 2, I'll start at the bottom of the list, and I'll work my way up. And then I'll go through all the movies that I've seen that I liked, and the ones that I think are shit, so you can get a good idea of what's good on Netflix and what's not, according to my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, some of the movies I said that are crap, like Stephanie, You have, you know, there'll be people that argue that, saying, oh, I really liked it. And that's cool. I mean, hey, that's the thing. The great thing about the horror genre is, you know, some people might love it, other people might hate it. It's all good. So, but I had a lot of people ask me to recommend movies on Netflix. So I just gave you 31 movies there you could kind of flip through and watch over the next month. And yeah, so anyways, let me know what you think of the list that I talked about. And again, this is part 1. I'll do a part 2 and post it in a couple of days, starting from the bottom of the list. And that's it for now, guys. So until next time, stay scared.